Hi, it's Lee and welcome to the Tesla Economist. Tesla's entire mandate is about renewable energy and using engineers to make renewable energy so efficient it's feasible, lower cost, convenient alternative to fossil fuels. Tesla began with vehicles and eventually branched out into energy, including a Solar City acquisition. Tesla concentrated on cars and focused the vast majority of their efforts in that area, and Elon even said that was where the energy was required at the time. However, in the meantime, Tesla have come out with some great energy products, some very impressive solar tiles that make solar roofs look natural, rather than having ugly solar panels on top of your house. However, Tesla have done very little in the way of solar expansion. For example, in Q3 2018, Tesla deployed 93 megawatts of solar panels, and in Q4 2022, just 100 megawatts. There's been no growth in this side of the business, and it is practically negligible in the finances. Tesla have the Powerwall, a vastly superior battery energy storage unit that is capable of instantly switching over and running the power on your home in a power cut so quickly it won't even reset your microwave clock. Although it is an expensive product, and an expense that is tough for many to justify due to how long it can take to actually pay itself off. However, part of the reason for that is that Tesla aren't using LFP cells, which would save money. The Powerwall isn't really priced or marketed as a money-saving product, it's more of a convenience product. If Tesla get the prices down to about half of where it is today, then it becomes a total game changer. Of course, the main energy product that Tesla is focusing on that actually has any impact on the business is Megapacks. The others are doing negligible amounts and pretty much making a loss, but we haven't been seeing any major growth with Megapacks either until of recent, over the last 2 quarters. Why is this? Well, if you recall, we had a big expansion in Shanghai for the Model 3 and Y at the end of last year. This was due to CATL retrofitting a factory just down the road from Tesla with a 60 to 80 gigawatt hour a year capacity for LFP cells. This factory then enabled Tesla to ramp up Shanghai and finally have enough LFP cells that they could actually expand energy storage. As a result, Tesla also retrofitted a factory in Lathrop, California, specifically for Megapack production. And we had Tesla announcing that they finally had enough cells, which was inferred wrong by many investors. And they'd try and tell me that I didn't know what I was talking about when I'd say Texas and Berlin are still cell constrained because Tesla said they finally had enough cells. This only meant they had enough cells for their rear-wheel drive vehicles and can finally start expanding their Megapack business. It in no way helps Texas or Berlin as they need 2170 or 4680 cells, although Berlin often talks about using BYD's blade cells too. Anyway, I hope that is clear for everyone. Texas and Berlin are still very short on cells. They need literally 3 times as many as they have today, and Texas will actually need 4 to 5 times more when they ramp up the Cybertruck. Tesla are cell constrained, as is the rest of the industry still, as it is really capital intensive making cell and battery factories. Remember everyone, this is why Tesla went for 4680 cells, because of the dry battery electrode making the processes almost 10 times less intensive. Anyway, if you've been following me enough, this is not news to you. And as investors, I think it's important to understand how the business is moving in each area. So we've seen Megapacks ramp up, but this Megapack factory is basic, at least compared to an electric car factory. It's significantly easier to ramp up a Megapack production line than a Model Y line. Therefore, the rate at which this factory is moving is also related to cell supply. So how are Tesla going to get more cells? LFP cells, to be precise. LFP cells are now dated technology. CATL have moved on and discovered a more advanced hybrid version using a combination of a ternary cell with LFP, generating 10% more energy density. These cells are obviously ideal for cars, not energy. Why bother making a new factory for old technology cells that have less value, when it's as much effort to make higher value cells? Why indeed? So how are Tesla going to get more LFP cells for their Megapack factories? And aren't they building a new Megapack factory in Shanghai? How will they be able to ramp that? Simple. There are plenty of LFP cells already. However, they're being used in the rear-wheel drive Model 3s and Ys. As CATL ramp up their new cells, the M3P cells, then these will replace the batteries in the vehicles, offering 10% larger batteries and more range. At a guess, a rear-wheel drive Model 3 will come with 300 miles of range, and Model Y with perhaps 260 or 270 miles. This is a huge deal. Anyway, I think it is really impressive and will mean that Tesla have more range than BYD again, like for like. Alright, so then we have these old LFP cells going from the rear-wheel drive versions that are now superfluous for Tesla's vehicles. Tesla will have managed to boost demand dramatically for the new Model Y and 3 with the new designs, upgraded hardware, and these new batteries offering more range and performance. Oh, and perhaps the Model Y rear-wheel drive will finally have enough range for the US market. Wow, imagine the demand for that car with a $7,500 rebate. Okay, so the LFP cells are going spare, so they can be used for energy storage. As soon as we see Model 3 Highland ramping, then I guarantee shortly after that we will see that Lathrop factory ramping, and I think it really could hit capacity, or close to, by the end of this year. Imagine how the market will infer that. Energy finally ramping up, but at insane levels. Elon said energy would ramp up much faster than vehicles. In Q4, Megapacks were at an annual rate of 10 gigawatt hours a year. They could be close to 40 gigawatt hours a year in Q4 2023. A 300% increase year over year. This will get some attention. Also, this will be noticed in the financials, likely getting to around $15 billion revenue annualized for energy storage. That is revenue only, but the margins are going to be around 25%, with some bulls speculating potentially above 30%. Then next year we'll see the new Shanghai Megapack factory, supposedly a purpose-built factory, no doubt on the same site as Giga Shanghai, as the CATL LFP factory is only up the road. I imagine this factory will be constructed fairly quickly. It's a simple factory relative to the Model Y factory, which was far more complex and much larger, yet was still constructed in an unbelievably fast time. Don't forget how quickly things can get done in China. Then when this factory is complete, it will time in well with when the Model Y Juniper update is complete, and starts also using CATL's new cells and batteries. The LFP cells can be deployed into this new Shanghai Megapack factory. There are a lot of Model Y LFP cells coming from that factory. Therefore, there would be a good chance that the Shanghai Megapack factory can also hit capacity next year. That would mean another 100% increase in energy year over year for 2024. Now, think how the market will react to that. 2023, 300% increase in energy. 2024, 100% increase in energy. Not to mention the actual financials, which would now be around $30 to $40 billion a year in revenue and perhaps $10 billion in gross profit. A significant amount. A nice base for Tesla diversified as not just a car company, with the evidence to really prove it. After that, though, I'm not sure where the growth for energy storage will come. I think they would just sit on these two factories for a while, perhaps until we see a new generation of cells, possibly sodium-ion based, as it will lower cost and, although likely be less energy dense, it is still suitable for energy storage. However, I doubt the market will really realise that energy can't grow too much without more cells. They'll just notice the massive growth that they've seen in energy and potentially think it will continue, even though it has reached capacity. So the stock price could shoot up in the hopes of that, with many investors thinking that energy could actually be bigger than vehicles, although Elon has recently said that it won't be, but might not be too far off. So seeing energy ramp over this year and next, along with likely demand increasing again for Model Y and Model 3 due to these facelifts and upgrades, which could mean the prices increase slightly, especially if we see interest rates start to lower, well, there's a lot of potential for some good profits and the stock price to react very positively. And yes, I'm not naive enough to forget the Cybertruck will likely hurt some of these profits in the meantime while it ramps. However, I also think that it will have a great profit margin, and look how few Model X and S Teslas need to make to become profitable. If Cybertruck also has a high price tag, at least initially around $80,000, then it may break even at something like just 3,000 units a month. So it actually might not be a total cash bonus. And like we're saying, Tesla will have this additional base income from energy. Hi there, I'm using Verbalate AI video translation and lip sync software. It's pretty amazing. Watch this. I can translate my videos into other languages. For example, I am now speaking Hindi.
नमस्ते, मैं पहली बार हिंदी में बोल रहा हूं, लेकिन वर्बलेट इसे इतना आसान बना देता है.
Or how about Spanish?
Hola, vaya, increíble. También puedo hablar español.
Sign up at verbalate.ai today to gain early access to trial the product for creators and strategic partners, and gain the ability to translate and lip sync videos in all major languages. You can view the info in the description below.